Right, well, this is part two of my Scramble Net boarding ladder project. It was this Tillman who's could probably make a noise because he'll feel that he's not getting devoted attention. Still, this was the original design concept, and it was surprising how much of that did not work. And some of it is pretty obvious now, but and this is a loop of webbing around the winch on the side of the boat. But of course, when you put your foot on this part of the rung of the ladder, the webbing just ran around and the whole thing just capsized. So that needed changing. So I've had to cut through the webbing here and put two loops on, so each one hooks onto the winch. That was easily resolved. The other thing that was a little bit of a surprise is these pieces of webbing across here are hollow polyester webbing with nylon bar inside, 12mm thick nylon rod, solid rod. They just went through a loop in the middle. This is like a doubled up piece of webbing down here. But the problem was when you stood on these wider ones, it bent and it dragged through the middle webbing, and this lot here kind of capsized. So to resolve that, I just had to stitch, but I had to hand stitch the horizontal webbing to the vertical webbing. So I've done that. Also, I don't know if it was in my original plan, but I decided to put a stainless steel bar at the top here. I've made this slightly narrower, made this slightly wider, and to hold the bar off, I bought two wheels, like soft elastic rubber tired wheels to go on. So let's have a look, see where I've got. Okay, so this is where I had to cut through. Originally this was going to be a loop of webbing at the top to go over the winch, but that didn't work, so I've now cut the green webbing, added two bright fluorescent loops, so they'll go on the winch to secure the top. So that solved that problem. That's the nylon 6/6 inside the polyester webbing, and then this is a stainless steel 316 stainless steel tube, 16 gauge. I decided to hold it off. This would be on the side of the boat, so it's a bit hard. This will be clearer when I do the demo, I suppose, but I didn't want this hard up against the side of the boat, partly because it's a varnished boat. I didn't want to scratch it, but also I wanted to be able to get my hands and my toes in there. So I bought two wheels, and the smallest wheels I could buy with a 20mm bore were these little things. But when I decided I was going to make a little bag to store this in, I decided this was just ridiculously big. So I ordered two plain bearing ones with a smaller bore that I then had to put in a pillar drill and drill them out with a hole saw. Not recommended if you want to use them as casters, but fine for this purpose. So they're held on with a split pin in each end. So so I split the webbing here and here just to make connection to this, and then started off again. So this is the central webbing, and this was where I had to hand stitch at the bottom. So this is actually whipping twine pushed through with a needle and palm. So this now is secured to this webbing. This webbing here is doubled up, so that's all stitched in a box fashion, and apparently you get 180 pound strength per inch of stitching using that thread. So it's unlikely to break. So it all goes down the bottom. There's another stainless steel bar, so this will sink. This is why I went for rods in here. I wanted everything to sink fairly quickly, with the exception of the the line, so on each side of the bottom, this is a polypropylene, i.e. a floating rescue line, 6mm. I haven't cut that to length yet, so that's a kind of big loop that goes around the top. And I'll work out, I might make it a bit over length so it just kind of floats in the water, so you can grab it with a boat hook, or whoever's in the water can pass it up. So that's it. My next stage is to try and persuade the people at London Docks to let me give it a go. Yeah, so I've got a volunteer to help on that, so that should be interesting. I'll probably throw up all sorts of other things, and then ultimately I'm going to make a little bag for it, but I'm deliberating how to do that, so I want it to come out very fast. But it does pack away quite small, and I think it looks very colourful. It's been quite good fun to do, so it's not all lost. It's better than being down the pub or the betting office or something. Yeah, so there'll be a pile of rope in there. So I've bought a zip, so I might just make a little sunbrella kind of bag to hold all that. Or I was thinking of making a wrap, so with a Velcro kind of quick release. Okay, so next stage 3, will be the demo. We'll find out the whole thing's completely useless. But hey, who knows? Might be a raving success.